So the indie label Ilian Tape removes their entire catalog from Spotify. And they quote, "It just felt like the right thing to do." Wow. Could this be a big sign for what independent artists are going to do moving forward? If they feel like they aren't getting the justice that they deserve as far as stream numbers or, return on profit, things like that. What do you think?
I think one of the other viable options is there. Absolutely. He cited, so CEO, or I guess a representative of that label, cited that we thought about taking everything off Spotify for a while. Now it just felt like the right thing to do. In an interview, the guy says, here's a part, where is it? Somewhere in this article. But it said, in an interview in 2020, the Spotify CEO made it clear that it's all about quantity, that artists can't take several years to finish an album anymore. And then they said this one part: the shares are intransparent and much lower compared to other streaming sites. And now the CEO is also investing insane amounts of money into warfare technology that was just enough for us. So that the latter part of that, I definitely don't agree with to an extent. Like, if you can't base all your participation in streaming or like platforms or restaurants or whatever with like everything that the leader of the organization does. Right. That would just be absurd. You would not go anywhere and do anything when you do that. That's very murky water. Right. And now, unless it's like, you really got to pick your battles in that one, because unless something that you consider extremely egregious, like, look, if let's say China tomorrow, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but let's say China decides that they are going to nuke a country. You better have some sort of defense. Or the U.S. decides that they randomly want to nuke someplace. Yep. You better have a defense. That's right. For it. So just saying that somebody put this money into like warfare technology, so I can't be a part of their platform, is ridiculous. That is terrible logic. The other part about this that I do agree with is that the amount of streams is not transparent. Like, I want to know how much I'm getting paid, right? Or like, give me a range, give me something. So whenever, like, we have a streaming calculator on our site, and it's aggregate of here's what they told us the average was, but you're going to see a fluctuation in that anyway. But you're not in control of that tip amount or that stream amount, right? At least, like, if you're doing a service job or you're busking or whatever, like, you can even put a suggested tip amount outside of your guitar case or whatever. Right. Like, hey, if you think I did this well, tip me $1. If you think I did this well, tip me $5. Tip me $10. Like, you can have a little influence on that. Right. With Spotify, you really don't. They say that they pay, label artists more, but even then, there's a cap on it. Whenever we talked about our idea, posted a tweet and Instagram post about it, got a lot of engagement. So you guys should check that out. Go follow us on Instagram. But we're talking about the idea of the setting your streaming rate with blockchain technology. So decentralize. Don't put all your eggs into centralized baskets anymore. You have a decentralized platform where it is tethered to, it could be tethered to any of the blockchains, honestly. I don't care if it's Cardano, I don't care if it's Ethereum, whatever. Just as long as, Solana, as long as it's created in a way where the artist gets to say, if this release comes out first, you guys, hook me up with $2 cents per stream, because this is just coming out. This is hot stuff. If artists did that now, people would do it. If Drake did that, people want to hear the song. So they will pay 2 cents for that stream. And just like that, you quintuple your revenue. Just like that. And then as time goes on, you can lower that streaming rate, maybe get it down to 1 cent. You can make it a half cent, like whatever you want to do. and then people just have their wallet, their digital wallet, excuse me, and they connect their wallet to the site, or they just distribute. They could have a subscription payment if they wanted to. Just say, hey, just dump $10 in there every month, and then if it goes unused, it's actually still in there.
Right.
It's not just gone.
Right.
And you just pay it every month. It's so much better for the consumer, so much better for the artist. Like, that just makes too much sense. Like, remember, you guys remember, go look back of March or April, was it last year, somewhere in there, when we talked about our NFT video. I was probably saying in the video that makes too much sense for it not to happen.
Yeah.
And then 4 months later, we discovered pretty much that exact same thing. So I don't know if we're going to discover this one 4 months later. In our post, you can go look through the comments, but there were a couple streaming services, like people were trying to tag all these streaming services in the post because it was getting good engagement. There were a few of them that they were doing something similar, but it wasn't all the way there yet. That is very important. Even if they're listening to this, they need to pay attention to that. Whenever I was talking about the idea that was later we discovered, Rally's doing it the closest. I was very particular because we came across a couple others first. So Rally, you guys go research the other videos. I'm not going to go over all of what Rally is, but we found Fayooz first, Fyooz. Fayooz is another social token website, but it was not all the way there.
Right.
That is very key. So people saying, hey, I have an idea that's kind of close to that. No, that is not the idea. It is very, like, all the details need to be there for it to work the right way. Because, you go to Fayooz and you don't have the weekly dividends. I was talking about weekly dividends that people need if you have like a stock market of artists. So they want to be paid. Or you could even do like, hey, I'm getting paid these streaming royalties off of these songs or whatever, but you need the dividend part to keep people engaged. Right. So these are too small cap of stocks of coins for people to not have some benefit in it. So Fayooz doesn't have that. BitClout does not have that part. And Rally does have that part. That is a big differentiation. So say all that to say, like, when that comes out, then you will see a lot more artists and labels hopping off of Spotify. As I said before, the stock, I would not touch it. Even with their heavy podcast push, I think that may be okay for now. But even then, if podcasters see that they can get 5 cents per stream,
right,
why wouldn't they hop off of Spotify? Spotify just has users right now.
Right.
There's nothing super duper special about the tech for Spotify, given you see like there's 10 competitors and they all just pop up right after the other. It's not all that difficult.
Right.
This other setup is a bit more difficult because there's only so many people who are experienced in blockchain, and then when you actually talk to developers, they will tell you, like, look, the people that can actually develop, there's not that many out there.
Wow.
There's a kind of like with anything. Like if you want somebody really, really good, you got a very small pool of people who are going to be very, very good at what they do, and that's what you need to topple like the big streaming platforms right now, because you even got YouTube in there, and Google does have enough money to just go buy up somebody if they want to. So I would still put my money with Google far over Spotify. But we'll see what happens, man. It was 4 months last time. You guys keep watching this year. We'll see if it happens.
I'll see.